they have playmakers everywhere. I mean, obviously 99. He strip sacked me last time twice when we played him, so we got to make sure we account for him every single time that he's on the field, which is like every play. So you have to have a good game plan for him. They got 5 and Ramsey, who's a great player. They got 54. I mean, you could just go down the list. They have great players all throughout that defense, and so it'll be a great challenge for us as an offense, and we have to go out there and execute at a high level and try to limit our mistakes because they capitalize on those.
Coverage on Sports Radio 810 is brought to you by Westlake Ace Hardware. Visit your local Westlake Ace Hardware today. Online at westlakehardware.com. Westlake Ace Hardware. Small projects, big know-how. Ask away.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Yeah, I'm just most thankful for the people around me, for my family, to my teammates, and everyone that's helped me get to where I'm at today. Those people I'll be thankful for every day, not just on Thanksgiving, but every single day that I'm alive.
Are you thankful that you're going to have Juju back potentially on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, to get a dynamic playmaker back, hopefully everything goes good with the protocol and everything like that, and he's healthy and ready to go. And but just to have that energy on the sideline again, he's obviously a great player, but a great teammate. So you always want to get those guys back in the huddle.
How much did you sense it meant to Sky to be able to make the plays that he did on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it was big. I mean, just confidence booster. He's someone who puts in the work every day, and we have a lot of guys in that receiving room, so the ball gets spread out a ton, and he hasn't got the numbers that I think we thought he was going to have going into this season. And so for him to make big catches in big moments in a big game, it shows that all that hard work that he puts in every single day is paying off, and he's someone that will be a contributor to this team for a long time.
Patrick, Eric Bieniemy mentioned Aaron Donald was like Steph Curry. Do you see that out of him? I mean, I know the Rams are having a disappointing year, but overall, just what do you see from that Rams defense? Because they still have some talent out there despite.
Yeah, I mean, they have a ton of talent. I mean, they're still a great defense. I mean, I watch them in all the games they've played this year, and they've done a great job. And so they have playmakers everywhere. I mean, obviously 99. He strip sacked me last time twice when we played him, so we got to make sure we account for him every single time that he's on the field, which is like every play. So you have to have a good game plan for him. They got 5 and Ramsey, who's a great player. They got 54. I mean, you could just go down the list. They have great players all throughout that defense. And so it'll be a great challenge for us as an offense, and we have to go out there and execute at a high level and try to limit our mistakes because they capitalize on those.
Most teams have a lot of fluctuation in how they do season by season. You guys have been able to keep a pretty good arc. I just wonder what you think about when you think about your ability to do that through the years so far.
Yeah, I mean, in this league, everybody can beat everybody. I know everybody says that, but I mean, I truly believe it. I mean, every week, if you don't bring your best game, you can lose the football game. And so for us, we try to just maintain getting better every day. I mean, I preach it all the time. EB preaches it. Coach Reed preaches it. Is just how can you make yourself better today to impact yourself for the game? And so that's what we've done. And if you focus on that, you can just continue to get better and better as seasons go on, and then try to find ways to win football games, kind of like we did this last week.
Do you feel like that is a sort of consistent thing you'd say over like even the last 5 years? I mean, that's part of the DNA of your success, or anything particularly else you would point to about the organization, or?
Yeah, no, that for sure. I mean, it starts off at the top, and I think if you look at our organization, everybody comes to work with the mindset of how can they make themselves better to make this organization better. And so Coach Reed, he's created that culture, the coaching staff, the players, everybody. I mean, everybody that's in this building is trying to do whatever they can every day to make this whole entire building better.
Patrick, you pushed the ball down the field a lot more on Sunday. Just wonder if that's what you saw defensively, if that was a point of emphasis for you.
I think it was just they came up and they challenged us. They played man coverage. Even when they were playing zones, they pressed their corners and tried to make sure that they were challenging us at the line of scrimmage, and it gave us opportunities to make some plays downfield. And I mean, that's something that I always want to do, is throw the ball deep and give guys chances to make plays. And so I've learned to be patient and kind of take the stuff over the middle and the shorter passes. But if I have the opportunity to go for the deep shot, I'm going to make sure I maximize it. I don't get a lot of those anymore.
Have you seen or maybe been waiting because you have been effective, being patient? Have you sort of been waiting for maybe it to reverse back in that manner?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, as the last few games, people have kind of played more man coverage and came up and been more physical with our receivers at the line of scrimmage, and it's a tribute to them. They're winning. They're getting downfield. They're winning on their routes, and giving me a chance to make some throws and let them make plays. And so I think it started maybe the Titans game or the Raiders game, kind of one of those games where we started playing more and more man coverage, and the Chargers did a good job of it for the most part, but we were able to make enough plays at the end of the game to win it.
Patrick, I remember in the offseason you were sort of surprised to go through the reps for the first time with Justin Watson, yet he continues to be a productive player for the offense. Just how valuable do you see him right now in this unit, and is it surprising to you now that he's been this productive from obviously when you guys first started working together?
It hasn't. I mean, obviously, when you first get there, you don't. I mean, like I hit the receivers that I knew, and then Justin Watson, I knew we had signed him, but I just kind of texted him and told him to come down. And you see it. You saw it the first day in Texas. You could see how he ran routes, how fast he was. I knew he had a chance to make the team at that time, but we had a lot of competition in that room, and I think it kind of made him even better with the competition. And he accepted the challenge. He was helping other guys. He was getting reps in whenever he could in training camp. If the guy went down, he was the first guy to hop up. And I think that's proven to be why he's had so much success this season, is whenever guys have went down or he's had to hop in for a rep, he makes the most of it. And you have to have those guys, because when we have situations like we had this last game, he can be that guy to step up and make a lot of big plays for us.
Patrick, it sounds like Bryce Perkins may get the start at quarterback for them this week. Just what do you remember about being a young quarterback in this league and some of the veterans kind of talking to you before and after the game, and what does it feel like to be in that position now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you got to rely on your coaches and the guys around you. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I remember is obviously you're going into a new environment. I mean, he's playing at Arrowhead. I was playing, I think, at Mile High my first start. You're going to a new environment. It's going to be a tough challenge for you. But how can you rely on what your coaches have taught you, your fundamentals, and your teammates around you to bring the best out of you?
You've won 25 games in a row now, this team, or the November, December games over the last few years. What is it about this time of year that gets you dialed in, that you like about this time of year?
I think it's just we continue just to get better as the season goes on. I mean, at the beginning of the year, you're trying to find out who you are. You're trying to find out what are your best plays, what do you want to go to in those go-to moments. And as the season goes on, you figure that stuff out. And then the practice gets easier. So, Coach Reed, that might be it. I don't know.
Patrick, 4 games this season, you guys have been trailing at halftime where you've come out the second half, you've been able to pull out the win. Can you point your finger on anything? Is there anything that's said at halftime, or what is it where you guys flip that switch and come out and pull it out?
Yeah, I think, guys, we make adjustments. The coaching staff comes in. We make adjustments at halftime. We try to execute those things. We see the defense is doing against us as offense, and then the same vice versa what the offense is doing against our defense. And I think we do a great job of making adjustments, executing those, and guys have the mentality that we're going to find a way. And so you have to be a great second-half team in this league in order to win games. Every game's close in this league. I think everybody knows that. But hopefully we can try to get some leads going into halftime and make it a little easier on ourselves. That would help.
Patrick, just to follow up on practice getting easier, I mean, Andy Reid's known for a brutal camp, and there are definitely some miserable days. Do you get the sense that guys enjoy coming to the building a little bit more in a sense later in the year just because of it being a little bit looser?
I think guys, I think the camp that Coach Reid has is so it helps us so much as the season goes on, because we've been through those adverse moments when you're tired, your body's hurting, and you got to go out there and still execute at a high level. And so it prepares you for games when you're in those situations. And so the practices slim down as the season goes on, but you've built up that stamina of you know you can put in that work and be at the top of your game. And so I told those new receivers especially, I was like, get through training camp and you'll be ready to go for the entire season. And I think they understand that now, and they understand why we did what we did in training camp to prepare them to be in those moments in the season.
We'll go 2 more, but Adam and then Matt. Go ahead, Adam.
Patrick, with the run game starting to pick up these last couple of weeks, how does that kind of help you as a quarterback? I know that you would be willing to throw the ball every time, but now that you kind of have the run game picking up, and as it starts to get colder, you probably do want to start running the ball a little bit more. How does that help the offense a little bit?
Yeah, I think our offense is in a completely different place when we run the ball well. The offensive line gets going. It helps them in not only run blocking but pass blocking as well, because the defense doesn't know what to account for. It helps open up play action and stuff like that. So, I mean, we run the football. I mean, if you look at our games, the games we have most success is when we run the ball well. And so you want to still be who we are and throw the ball when we need to, but being able to establish the run is huge. Any time of the year, I'm not really worried about the cold. I can throw it in the cold, I think.
Patrick, the league's doing quite a bit to celebrate John Madden tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Just as a young player growing up, what did Madden mean to you?
Yeah, and he meant a ton, man. I mean, I got mad in the video game, like right when Madden the video game became it, which it still is. And so I played it all growing up, hearing his voice. I mean, it's ingrained in me now. And I watched a documentary this last year, and I'm doing the turducken this year. So I'm going to try it out. I'm not cooking it. I can't cook, but my chef's already preparing it and getting it ready to go. And I'll let y'all know next week how it is.